watching Rogers TV.
Welcome to Daytime. It's Friday. We made it, everybody. And so excited to have my next guest because she's a regular on the show. And yesterday, had a cancellation and we're trying to juggle. She's supposed to be in next week, but she's going away. And then I say, Julie, I have a last minute cancellation. She says, I'm on it. Julie Finley, Mom in the Know, joining me here on the show. How are you?
It's very good, very good. I love getting a call from you, especially when I'm driving away from my house. I'm like, I love my house. I'm going to go back.
Yeah, I said yesterday, it was 10 a.m. this morning.
Yes.
That I got in touch with you. So I thank you for that.
But you know what? I was kind of playing around in my mind because I know that parents are at home going, March break is coming. We're not sure what's going on with the weather. Stop looking at the weather app. It's just going to be what it is.
I love that.
I know.
It's so true, right?
It's true.
We are obsessed in this country with the weather, aren't we? It's because we have lots of it.
And we do. And it's beautiful outside. And I did talk to Stanley from Stanley's Maple Farm, 150-year-old farm.
Amazing.
He is ready. He is open March 2nd
awesome.
for everybody to come to the sugar bush. So I know when it went from minus 20, I think they call it the whiplash weather, we're at like plus 5 today, it's okay. And I love his farm. He's got animals, he's got tractor rides, it's a working farm, so everyone at home for sure, make sure you're dressed for the weather. Little boots would be great because it kind of can get muddy, or it could be a skating rink. So again,
you never know.
But I guess my tip for at home for the maple sugar bushes is go online, check the website, make sure everybody's set to go. But Stanley's great
get
because...
some pancakes.
Oh yeah, hey, by the weight.
By the weight, I know. We were joking. I go in there, I stand on a scale, and that's how much I pay.
That'd be so fun.
$175, Derek.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, perfect. So what we're going to do is getting kids in the kitchen. Exactly.
Wonderful.
So maple syrup. I'm going to teach you how to freeze it, but I'm telling you, you're never going to freeze maple syrup.
No.
So we're going to make apple pie French toast.
Nice.
And it's good for you. So what I've done already is I've broken apart. So this is easy ways to get kids in the kitchen. Ripping apart bread.
Yeah.
Cutting up apples, chopping them, keep the skin on.
Egg bread, by the way?
That's egg bread, and it's Rito egg bread.
Oh,
so you can get that from Farm Boy as well. So and it's actually most local grocery stores.
Yep.
So we've already got 3 cups of, which is pretty much 3 apples already chopped up.
Okay.
We're going to add in 2 tablespoons of, this is the other thing. Have
this
your
is
kids
for me.
ready. Yes.
You
Give
know
them
me.
the tools.
I'm kind of like a kid in a way.
You're going to stir that together, some brown sugar and some cinnamon. So quickly, that's 2 teaspoons of cinnamon.
Nice.
It is in a 13 by 9, but I find when you have kids over, they might want to go home with their own apple pie French toast. So maybe do 2 9 by 9s, just kind of creating your own camp. You're going to pour that on top. I've only put, so it is 10 cups of torn up bread.
Okay.
You're going to sprinkle this, just divide between the 2.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to add the wet right to here so you don't lose any taste.
Smart.
Yeah, I was going to do that because I know you like to crack eggs, but you've got 3 cups of milk. You've got a teaspoon of cinnamon, and then you've got your maple syrup in here. And
I'm trying to do the one-hander, Julie.
Yeah, 1/3. I love it.
Baby.
So this is why everybody should have aprons. And what you can do, I'm going to start stirring.
All of these?
All of them. Do it. It's like a race. So everybody at home, this is getting ready for the spring. Don't get rid of your eggshells. Hold on to them in a bag. They can go in your garden, and they keep all the bugs out of your garden. So all these things are happening in the kitchen. You're learning about how to grow, all our local growers. Apples are available all year long. Again, if you want any fun tips for parents at home, there's a whole kids corner on foodlandontario.ca.
Oh, that is a great spot, by the way, everybody.
Some super fun facts about everything, about how much apples are growing, how many, So this, you're literally going to pour on top.
Okay.
And actually, you're going to put the rest of that bread on top first, could you?
Absolutely. Just split between the 2?
Split between the 2.
I did wash my hands just moments ago, everybody at home.
You can put this in the fridge ahead of time for when you want it, or at least let it sit for about 30 minutes so everything soaks in.
Could you put it in the fridge overnight?
Absolutely.
And do it in the morning?
Absolutely.
Okay,
and if you don't want to do it at any time, you could freeze it. You're going to split it between the 2. You're going to have your oven on at 350, and you're going to bake it for about 50 to 55 minutes.
Nice.
And then you're set to go. So that is one of our recipes.
There we go.
And you know, it's so nice. You just have it there. You can add ice cream to it because it is March break and it is kids in the kitchen. So have some fun.
Absolutely.
So, okay, we're going to keep those eggs. The next one we're going to do is biscotti.
Nice.
Okay?
I've
a lot
never
of people,
done biscotti.
I know, and you think it's hard, but it's actually not that hard.
Okay.
I'm sure I'll miss a step, but it's not too bad. What you're going to do while I'm going to talk to everyone is this is the icing that's going to be on top.
Okay.
It's a half cup of icing sugar, and it's a quarter cup of maple syrup.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the cutest little thing.
Oh, look at that.
I know. And you're going to whisk that together.
All right.
And that will be our topping.
Nice.
Like all baked things, there is dry and there's wet. So I've got 2 2/3 cup of flour. I've got a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of baking powder, and a little bit of salt. We're gonna, I know, isn't that lovely? Okay, so I'm gonna give, did I have the other one?
What, you need this?
No, I'm gonna.
Oh, you got a whisk. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that for here. We'll use it later. We're gonna whisk the dry together.
Okay.
What I've already done is a half cup of butter and some brown sugar, and we're going to have you crack an egg.
Okay.
Okay, in there. And then we're gonna, again, add some syrup.
Oh, the one-hander, baby.
And that's kind of the fun you're having in the kitchen right there, right?
I know we always think of it as such a chore.
No.
It shouldn't be a chore.
Fun.
Like, have fun.
It's
Come up with a dumb accent in the kitchen if you want. Just have a little fun, you know?
You can even practice your French, kids.
I do.
There you go.
Sometimes my French chef comes out.
So all we're going to do here is we're going to turn that off. And make sure it's off. That's one thing that's happened before.
Important. Good call,
exactly.
Julie.
And then we're going to just mix this in a little bit, half and half.
One of these?
Yep. Go ahead, mix it in. And this is going to be a hard dough.
Okay.
So what you're going to, there you go. Are you ready? Use those muscles.
I'm ready.
Are you still using your personal trainer?
Yeah. George and I have been working out together for 14 years now.
Oh, my goodness.
George was a guest on the show.
Yes, I remember that.
And 14 years later, I'm still with him. I do strength training with him once a week.
Oh, lovely.
A full hour of really just killing me, basically.
Yes.
Thanks for that, George.
Yeah, it's always good.
Yeah.
And that's why your muscles are working so well, mixing all this together. Really what you're going to do with this dough, I've also gone ahead and I've toasted almonds. If you don't like almonds, chocolate chips. If you don't like that, put even apples in. It's a quarter cup. So you're going to add that in later. You're going to roll it into 2 12-inch doughs. You're going to put it on here just to roll it out. And then you're going to put it in your oven on parchment paper for about a half an hour till it's golden. And then that's when you take it out and slice it. And then put it back in.
And then you put this delicious stuff on there.
Lovely drizzle
maple syrup
on
and
top.
icing sugar. I mean, come on.
Come on. This is delicious. This is for you guys.
Julie, how much time do we have? No, the other Julie, not you.
Okay.
We've got a minute.
A minute. Well, you know what? That's all you need for this one.
Win it in a minute.
Win it in a minute.
Finley.
What you can do, kids in the kitchen, make your fish dinner. This is super easy. Broil on low for 7 minutes. That's it. Watch it. Make sure it doesn't burn. Make your own sweet potato fries. We got our sweet potato. You're just going to shave it. You're going to cut it. You got your fries. You eat fries. Well, I let everyone
you got
know what to do. All you want for your dressing,
job.
again, I'm going to take this. Always ready. I've got a quarter cup of maple syrup. I've got 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I have rice wine vinegar, and I've got a tablespoon of vegetable oil. I'm going to mix that together. That is your sauce on top. You're literally going to pour it. So if you don't want to broil it, this recipe actually says to throw it on a grill, but I think for kids, broiling is easier for me.
And 7 minutes. I mean,
7 minutes
everyone's
done.
like, I don't have time to make dinner.
7 minutes.
7 minutes,
Rainbow
everybody.
trout is available all year round, so you've got all these meals. It's perfect.
Julie Finley, Mom in the Know, foodlandontario.ca for these recipes and more. We'll be back with more right after this.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Like most of Canada's film and media industries, Todd Studio is mostly straight and white. But by pledging to check their privilege, Todd Studio can now help fund programs to finally create a more diverse talent pool. And Todd, you can stop hiding behind this plan. What?
Actually, I'm in the vents.
Stop hiding from our industry's lack of diversity and pledge to help POV fix it. Go to checkyourprivilege.ca.
Some of Canada's most interesting and accomplished people share their lives, careers, insights, and stories each week on Canada Files. I'm Valerie Pringle, and I'll be speaking with economist Mark Carney, actor Eugene Levy, author Louise Penny, and architect Moshe Safdie, among others. I hope you can join us.
Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to RogersTV.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at RogersTV.com.
Welcome back to the show. Another great Ottawa success story. I've been following her career, and just a great inspirational story for everybody at home to think, hey, you come up with an idea, where's it going to go? Well, it can go to incredible places. I'm joined by Stacey Laviolette. She is, I guess, not just author anymore. My friend Toothy's like a whole brand now, right?
Yeah, so my name is Stacey Laviolette. I'm the author and creator of My Friend Toothy, and I brought a helper today, a Toothy helper.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you want to meet her?
I would love to meet her.
Okay, great. Piper, where are you?
There,
Oh!
whoa! There is Piper.
Pop-up Piper.
Now, Piper was your inspiration, was
yes.
it? Was she not?
Yeah. How old were you when you found out you had how many
3.
cavities? You were 3 years old when you had how many?
7.
10 cavities.
10 cavities.
So
What were they feeding you, Piper?
she was eating lots of candy, and we struggled with brushing and flossing.
Right, many parents do.
We would have to pin her down sometimes, and it was very traumatic for her. So that's when I decided, okay, so with the 10 cavities, we had to do something. I looked for resources, and there were no really anything out there for this topic.
Okay.
So that's when I decided to not just write a book, but create this whole experience. So the box set in front of you, it includes a book. It's all about exposure therapy, brushing, flossing, going to the dentist, and then there's also a plush. And the plush they can take to the dentist for comfort. And on the back, what's in the back, Piper?
A pocket.
It's a pocket
there's
for
a little
the
pocket.
tooth
Yeah, I see
fairy.
that. Yeah.
So when a child loses their tooth, they can keep it safe in there, and that way the tooth fairy doesn't have to look under a pillow in the dark and try to find
the
a
poor
lost
tooth fairy. I mean, fumbling around in the dark, it's no fun.
It's a big job, and I work with the tooth fairy, so she gave me feedback and was like, you need to implement something.
I love it. I love it. So the box set comes with the book, with a plushie as well?
That's right, and it also comes with a mirror cling. So you stick this on your bathroom mirror at home, and it serves as that visual reminder for the children to brush and floss and to listen to who?
Who, Piper? Who should you listen to?
Mommy,
that's right.
Daddy, the grandma, grandparents. So that's the whole box set, and it really changes the need for children to brush and floss to wanting.
Yeah, exactly, because they go into the bathroom with this, and then when they go to the dentist, it's kind of their security comfort sort of thing, right?
That's right, yeah.
Piper, do you like to go into the dentist now?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah, so the plush is comfort for her at the dentist.
Yeah, I love that idea. Well, there's also some exciting news to share, right? You're launching a second book.
So we actually just released it a couple months ago, and it's box set number 2.
Nice.
Box set number 2, it's a story about fairyland, what the tooth fairy does with children's lost teeth.
Okay.
And where toothies come from. So that's what the second book's about. And it also helps normalize the fear of children losing a tooth.
Right.
Oh, no, it's going to hurt. Instead of, I'm so excited Toothy is going to come and take my tooth.
So explain, what Fairyland is what? How would you describe that place?
What's Fairyland like?
Fairyland's like where it's lots of toothies and lots of fun.
Toothies, it's lots of toothies growing in the sun.
Oh, nice.
And it's lots of fun. And they also go to school, right? They go to school to learn how to be dental helpers. They learn how to fly.
Tell me about, I mentioned, great success story from the beginning of writing this book to where you are now. Just tell me about that growth of the business.
Sure. So after creating the first box set, the second one came out, and I asked our fellow followers, what would you guys like to see? And they're like, let's see a rainbow toothy. So inside box set 2, there's the rainbow toothy. So it's collectibles. Also, same thing on the back. There's a pocket for the tooth fairy. So it serves as multi-purpose, not just a plush, but also to help the tooth fairy. And it also comes with toothbrush stickers. So we thought this was a nice added bonus. So children can peel off their sticker and they can customize their toothbrushes.
Excellent.
So when you replace your toothbrush every 3 months, whether it's electric or manual, they can decorate their toothbrush.
You've had a lot of highlights too, and a lot of achievements over the past few years. Tell me about some of those achievements so far.
Yeah, so we won, well, I won the title of Author of the Year last year, and I've been nominated for Author of the Year this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
it was so exciting. And then this year we've nominated again for Author of the Year, but also Best New Book of the Year for our Journey to Fairyland.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you.
So, you've got the books, you've got the box sets, you've got the plushies. Looking to the future, is there something else you're looking at doing down the road?
So I applied to Dragon's Den.
Okay.
And I got an interview with the producer. It was an amazing experience.
Yeah, walk me through that. So, because, we kind of see everybody in front of the panel, right? What's it like being with the producers?
Behind the scenes, there's a lot. So there's, out of thousands of people that apply, only hundreds get interviews.
Okay.
And out of those hundreds that get interviews with the producer, only 80 get invited on the show to go to Toronto and film and pitch to the Dragons, which is what we see. And out of those 80 videos, only 50 of them get aired.
Wow.
So it's like process of elimination.
Yeah.
The interview went so well with the producer.
It did? Oh, excellent.
It did. She actually found my audition, and it resonated with her because she has dental anxiety. So when she was a child, she struggled. So she loved it so much, and so she has to now pitch it to her producers why they should pick me.
You must, just from the way you're talking, you're encouraged, about how well it went,
Definitely, definitely. She loved the product. She loved everything. So Piper actually prepared a joke for you, Derek.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Piper.
What's a grizzly bear without no teeth?
What do you call a grizzly bear with no teeth?
What do you call a grizzly bear with no teeth? I don't know. What do you call
it? A gummy bear.
Oh, nice.
A gummy bear. And do you want to say the other one?
Yes. You call it donut. What do you call it? Why did the donut go to the dentist? Why did the donut go to the dentist?
Why did the donut go to the dentist? I don't know.
To get its filling.
Oh, nice. Come prepared. Look at you.
Those are actually some cute jokes in the back of our book. All of our books also end with educational resources and toothy jokes.
Oh, that is great.
And then,
what about feedback from parents? I imagine parents, you've been getting some excellent feedback.
Oh, parents love it. They get so excited because now their child's like, oh, we have to floss, we have to brush. So it's no longer the parents having to nag at them. It's the children already expecting it. So it eliminates that pain point before bedtime.
Right. Piper, you're enjoying brushing your teeth now?
Yes.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, congrats again.
Thank
you so much for reaching out to us again, Stacey.
Yeah, thanks
and
for having us.
Good luck with Dragon's Den. We'll be following you on social media. MyFriendToothy.com to find out more information where you can pick them up. You can order them online. We'll be right back after this. Yeah, say bye.
This is a man's heart, a heart in desperate need of medical attention. But because 78% of Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, he may not get the help he needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
Heartbeat of Mother Earth, I feel you and embrace your warmth. I see you dancing through the trees. Your song floats on the summer breeze. Community, we come together. We are the voice of our ancestors. Thankful for how much you bless us. Feel the thunder in the drum. All our voices sing as one. Feel the power, feel the pride, feel the drumbeat deep inside. Feel the boom, feel the bass. Let's let go of time and space. It'll make you dance, it'll make you sing. Ode Wegun, Wedok Wishin. The drum will lead you, take you far. Always remember who you are.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa according to Phil Jenkins on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPratte. I hope you join us for an hour to give right here on Rogers TV. We're going to talk about everything that is going to inspire you about this beautiful city.
Welcome back to the show. Our friend Catherine Landry at it again with another fantastic lunch, bringing some of the most incredible women leaders and business women in this city together for what they're calling the Power Lunch. The theme is Make Room at the Table. Here to tell us more about it, representing She Shops Local and Ladies Who Lunch, is Dr. Salima Ismail. Salima,
Hi
welcome.
there.
Great to have you here.
Thank you for having us here.
Tell me about your connection to Catherine. How'd the two of you meet?
So when I became a chiropractor, I wanted to promote myself and my business, and the best person I could find is Catherine. So she helped me along. You know, when you first start, you have student loans and stuff, and you need some help, and she just gave me that help. And 25 years later, here I am.
Excellent. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, so
25 years 25 now. Good
years.
for you. Congratulations.
Yeah.
For those that aren't familiar with She Shops Local and Ladies Who Lunch, tell us a little bit about those groups.
So Catherine Landry started She Shops Local and Ladies Who Lunch. Ladies Who Lunch is a Facebook group of 26,000 women.
Unbelievable.
All business women, all helping each other. So it's incredible. Anything we need, we go there. We can find the resources we need.
Have you met a lot of clients through that, that network?
Yes, I have.
That's
amazing.
Amazing.
I have over the last maybe 10 years, sure.
Yeah. And Salima, you're a connector. Right? You love connecting with people. You're good at it. Like, what advice do you give to people out there that, because for some people it's a little intimidating, right? You go to one of these luncheons and you kind of sit in the corner,
Okay, so Catherine Landry is a master of this. So what she makes sure is when you come to one of her events, it's almost like you're coming into something where everybody knows everybody, even if you don't know anybody, right?
Yeah.
So if you're kind of nervous about coming to one of these events, she makes it so when you walk in, there's room for you at the table.
Right.
And that's the sense, and that's the mantra we've gotten now is collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. So as soon as you walk into one of these events, people just take you, you come sit at our table, you're just welcomed right into the group.
I love it.
You don't have to be insecure or I don't know anybody. Come as you are, and we'll take care of the rest.
And a great example of the support is Natalie from Party Mart. She was kind enough. She delivered some balloons for us here today for the for the interviews. Some up front here and some just behind you. Again, without that kind of support, events like this can't happen, right?
Well, you know what? She sponsored. We put a call out for sponsorship, and right away she was like, "What can I do? How can I help?" And even for today, we were like, "Oh, we have an interview on with Derek," and she brought balloons. And this is one example of collaboration with Catherine Landry. She doesn't believe in competition.
Yeah.
She believes in collaboration. So here's a balloon shop, right?
Yeah.
Catherine Landry's shop. I'm a chiropractor from Ottawa South, and we're all coming here together to talk about this one event we're having. And may I give you an example of what Catherine can do?
Please, yeah.
So this is amazing. So I have a Ukrainian refugee from that's been sponsored to Ottawa.
Okay.
And so I gave her a job at my clinic. Catherine found out that this lady can bake.
Okay.
So Catherine's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, she can bake. So she's like, what does she bake? I said, she bakes cookies. She's like, what? She hand paints each cookie.
Are you kidding me?
These are all hand painted.
Julie, I'm going to show this to camera here. If you can try to get a close-up of that.
Those are tulips, and then the roses are phenomenal. So what Catherine Landry did was ask her to put a piece together for Women's Day.
Yeah.
And she's gonna, this is her artwork. This is actually hand-painted. So Catherine's taking her under her wing. She's gonna give her a free vending table at the event, and she's just gonna promote this lady. Like, this is what Catherine does. Amazing. So now we've got 5 businesses, including the National Arts Center, coming together to do this thing. And when you're talking about collaboration, you're letting go of competition.
Yeah.
So that's where the 2 speakers we're having is phenomenal. Catherine's lined up. Carla McLeod, if you know her, everybody out in Ottawa knows her. She's the head coach of the Professional Women's Hockey League, and from the Ottawa Blackjacks, she's got Mireka, who's the VP, and they're actually going to be the speakers that come to this event. And they were like, you know what, we don't want to do our own separate thing. We actually want to do a collaboration.
So they're going to speak together.
They're going to speak together.
I love that idea.
Yes, it's all about collaboration.
So yeah, you go and obviously get inspired by incredible women like these 2 speakers that you're describing. What else happens? Give us the rest of the details of the event.
Sure. So what happens at the event is we're going to have 250 business women come together under one roof.
Yeah.
And then what happens is everybody networks, so we get an hour to network and actually network. Like, what do you do? Like Catherine's like, everybody talk to each other. Like, really find out what you do. Sit beside somebody you don't know, right?
Yeah.
Those are at these events, that's the most important thing to do.
Agreed.
So she's like, sit beside somebody you don't know. Talk about what you can and how you can help each other out. And then that's what we do for the first hour. And then there's going to be these introductions and interviews and speakers of the best caliber you can imagine. And then after the networking event, after lunch, then there's another hour left over where we could still talk. We meet each other and they're like, oh, you're Dr. Ismail. Oh, it's so nice to meet you. I've seen you on Facebook. And all of a sudden, you already have a community. We already know everybody.
Right.
But now we've actually met them.
And it's the good of social media, right? Oftentimes, we always talk about the bad of social media and how terrible it can be and so forth. 26,000 members now. I mean, that's amazing.
26,000 people that she's got on there.
And I can tell you, I'm one of the only men on there. There's only 3 of us. And every sort of couple of months, I put a shout out onto Ladies Who Lunch the group. And, a lot of people ask me, you have so many women on the show. And it's thanks to that group. I reach out and, hey, you have a business, you want to promote yourself. We're a local show. We're the voice of the community. That's the way we kind of feel that that's our mandate here on the show. And honestly, dozens and dozens of women have come through there over just the last year.
No, and we appreciate what you do for us. You give us a voice, and it's amazing having our businesses come on here and talk to you. It's amazing the forum that you give us, and even having us here for International Women's Day for Friday. We really appreciate that you do that for us.
It's our absolute pleasure,
you know what I mean?
And it's a whole team here, right?
Well, it's all about collaboration, right? You have to have that all the way along.
They are. You saw the poster there, 80% sold out. So if you want to get your tickets, you better get them fast. International Women's Day next Friday, March 8th at the NAC, 12 to 3 p.m., the Power Lunch. It is a can't-miss event. We'll be back with more right after this.
Like most of Canada's film and media industries, Todd's studio is mostly straight and white. But by pledging to check their privilege, Todd Studio can now help fund programs to finally create a more diverse talent pool. And Todd, you can stop hiding behind this plan. What?
Actually, I'm in the vents.
Stop hiding from our industry's lack of diversity and pledge to help POV fix it. Go to checkyourprivilege.ca.
On Rogers TV.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Just talking to my next guest about traveling. She loves travel. I mean, everybody who does not love traveling, but there can be many frustrations, especially for those traveling by air. And of course, the federal government's come out with some of these rules and regulations to try to help, but very, very confusing. And CAA has decided to put together an easy-to-use guide for air travelers. Here to tell us more about it, I'm joined by Christine Darbell. She's Senior Director of Public Affairs at CAA. Welcome, Christine. Great to as a traveler yourself, I imagine you probably have felt some of these frustrations that many Canadians have felt.
Yeah, I would say nowadays, if you travel and you have no disruptions, that's a huge bonus and an excitement.
Right.
Most of the time, we're running into little snags, whether flight is being delayed or canceled, you're losing your bag, all that sort of stuff.
Right.
You're denied boarding because it's overbooked. So that is happening, quite a bit,
Right.
and that's why we felt, you know what, Canadians need a guide to understand what their rights are.
Yeah, so I guess CAA, you sort of looked at what the government presented and went, we understand why people are frustrated. Like, what is it, like a 60-page document or something?
Yeah, it runs to over 60 pages. So in 2019, the federal government came out with these laws to protect travelers while they're traveling. This is great news. We wanted that. The US and Europe had those laws. We wanted some laws as well. However, they're very, very complicated. It's about 60 pages to get through all of them. Wow. So imagine you're stuck at the airport, you have a kid hanging off of you, your flight is delayed or canceled, and you're trying to figure out, am I supposed to be rebooked? Do I get compensation? Does the airline even owe me a food voucher? I don't know, right? So we figured we'd put together a guide. In 5 clicks or less, we'll be able to answer those questions for you.
Can you just sort of give us a couple of examples of, you click on, and what are some of those things that are sort of top of the list?
Yeah, so we look at delays and cancellations, denied boarding. So if your flight is overbooked and they said, oh, we don't have room for you.
Which makes, I don't understand that, Christine. Like, how did they get away with doing that? I guess they're no longer getting away with it, but for so many years, they've been getting away with something that seems pretty simple.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, there's different reasons why an airline would overbook something. If another flight was canceled and they had to move everyone over to another flight, sometimes that causes some effects, down the line. So then if all of a sudden the plane becomes full and there's no room for you. We also look at baggage. That was a really big issue a couple of years ago. It's still a little bit of an issue where you lose your bag, or it's delayed or lost or damaged, right? We've heard those stories as well. So we just ask you, you go on to the tool, what's the issue you're having trouble with. You click on it, takes you and asks you, who are you flying with, what kind of airline, because there are different rules for large and small airlines.
Okay.
Then we ask you, especially for delays and cancellation, when did the airline tell you? Was this within 12 hours? Was it 14 days notice? Because again, the rules are different based on that. And then it takes you to a page and it says, all right, based on this information, here's what the airline owes you.
Yeah, so is it monetary compensation for almost all of these issues usually?
No, there's only a certain few cases when it's within the airline's control when they have to pay you compensation.
I see.
However, the rules do protect you in other ways. There's just standards of care. So if you are stuck and it's, a massive snowstorm, well, that's outside of the airline's control.
Right.
Nothing the airline could have done. Everyone's sort of miserable at that point. However, there are food vouchers. They're supposed to be updating you every 30 minutes. So there is just regular standards of care that the airline does have to comply with.
Yeah, and in defense a little bit to airlines, not all of these issues are issues, like they don't want these things to happen, right? I mean, they are trying their best, but there's certainly something needed to happen, right? Something needed, some kind of compensation finally had to happen. For travelers, just traveling anywhere, whether it's across the country, to Europe or down south, what pieces of advice would you give to travelers out there before, in those planning stages?
Yeah. Well, number one, bookmark our site. Have that in your back pocket, just so that this way, if you do when you run into a flight disruption, you'll have that to help you figure out what your rights are in a particular situation. Plan ahead. You know, the airlines always say you should be at the airport early. Probably a good idea to be at the airport early. If you are going to check a bag, you know, throw in one of those air tags or any sort of tracking.
Yeah.
It can be helpful. Now, it's not going to guarantee that your bag is going to get to you faster. However, I have a perfect example. I was traveling back from Mexico, and I had a connection in Texas, and as my flight was going, I could see my little blue dot moving, and my bag wasn't moving. So I knew when I was going to land that my bag had been left behind. Right. That's okay, it happens. Yep. So once I got in, my husband picked me up and I said, you know what, we're just gonna go home, I'll call the airline, instead of sitting out waiting around the carousel for half an hour to find out that my bag wasn't there. Yeah. So sometimes it just helps a little bit with your planning.
You know, when you phoned the airline in this situation, was it rather simple? Going through and speaking to the airline themselves? Yeah,
for the most part, speaking with an airline can be simple. There are more complex scenarios, obviously, but again, that's why we put these rules in the hands of travelers so that they know what their rules are, and when they do get on the phone with the airline, they can say, this is what I expect. Right. And this way, there's no confusion.
For those people that are traveling, I mentioned to you, I used CAA, a travel agent with CAA last year to book a trip to Mexico, actually. Why use a travel agent? What are the benefits?
One of the big benefits of using a travel agent is you just have someone in your corner and someone who has your back. If anything goes wrong, and the pandemic was a perfect example, a lot of our travel agents were working day in and day out to get their clients home during the pandemic, right? Now, doesn't, you know, knock on wood, we don't have to do that again, but if you do end up in a scenario where your flight is delayed or canceled, you've got someone, you know, on your side helping you figure it out and helping you maneuver the system a little bit, so that you don't have to do it by yourself.
It's kind of having that little sense of security, right? Whereas, you know, as you said, if something gets canceled or delayed, you're kind of on your own at the airport and you're trying to figure things out, like, what do I do? How do I get home? When's the next flight? And I can call my travel agent and they can sort of walk me through it, right?
Exactly. They know when the next flight is. They've got systems to be able to help you rebook yourself on another flight. Like, they are the experts. They're travel experts, right? So it makes sense to have them on your side.
Christine, thanks so much for this, and thanks to your team for putting this easy-to-use guide for air travelers. Again, you can visit caa.ca/air passenger help guide to find out more. We'll be right back after this.
Treaty in Cree is Naskomitoin, an oral agreement. And our agreements were always spoken. For George Spence, the core of treaty was Wichihioin, to help one another.
And so we, the commissioners...
He was there for the making of Treaty 9, where the Cree were told...
We will honor this agreement together, for as long as the sun shines and the waters flow.
The Cree made their mark because they were assured that the land would be shared, and they would always be able to harvest what they needed. George Spence was my great-grandfather. In his life, he saw many promises of the treaty go unfulfilled.
Treaties were essential to the creation of Canada. First Nations still fight for the agreements to be honored.
Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Back to introduce you to a fantastic guy. He's on a mission. I am joined by James Scott Wilson. He is a living liver donor hero searcher. Welcome. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
James, tell everybody at home a little bit about your background.
I have been diagnosed with end-stage liver disease. There is no cure other than transplant. In December of 2019, I was accepted onto a wait list.
Okay.
At the University Health Network, Toronto General Hospital, which was just recently named number 3 globally, including our transplant center. And that being said, I had 2 candidates as live living donors,
okay,
who made it as far as they could. However, were no longer candidates. Therefore, I'm here today to appeal for a living liver donor.
Right. So that process from your side of things, you get on the waiting list, and then what happens? People sign up, I guess, and then you get contacted at any given time?
University Health Network has an extremely compassionate, caring program. They guide the process. The websites are very user-friendly. On my Facebook page, facebook.com/JamesScottWilsonLive.com indicates all of the information that I have, and you'll be able to click on them to see.
I see.
The main thing is for living donors to start with the application process. It's approximately 12 pages.
Okay.
My blood type is B negative. I can only accept B blood type, O blood type, and A2 blood type.
Okay.
That makes it difficult. And with Ontario waiting lists for a deceased liver, there's a 34% chance of decreased success. With a living live donor, the process is comprehensive, it's planned, it's organized. Therefore, I bypass a lot of unpredictable variables that a deceased donor may or may not have been picked up on. Therefore, a living liver donor is the best option.
Right.
It's not the only option. However, it's a planned surgery, and it's a gift of life to save my life, to see my children grow up. I became a widower in 2019, and I have 2, the word amazing doesn't cover it, and I'm resilient, I'm strong, persistent, and no was a launching off point for negotiation for me. So I have approached friends, lifelong friends that I've had deep relationships with. My point is to disseminate the information. I have not asked anyone. I want people to know. I did not know. And there are services, the Trillium Gift of Life Network also it's managed by the Canadian Blood Services. So knowing your blood type, being registered, they work together, they're nonprofit. So it's a Canada-wide search. So therefore, there could be someone from British Columbia that could be considered. There are compensation, but that would be through UHN. They would need to contact travel expenses, medical expenses. But the living donor has to be a healthy, they can be an anonymous person. Ethnicity does not matter. It does not matter. It matters about anatomy, physiology, and a lot of moving parts medically. And it's a very successful program. However, a very essential, life-saving program, as 1 in 4 die waiting for transplant, and I refuse to be one of those 4.
Jamie, you mentioned there's no cure, but did you know the cause?
The cause, I have multiple medical issues and contributing factors. And as I become sicker, stamina levels vary. However, taking care of myself holistically, mind, body, and spirit, and having a supportive community, loving friends, family, faith, and purpose in life.
Is there ongoing treatment at all?
There will be lifelong medications I'll need to be on.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
No kidding. No kidding. So you've reached out on social media as well, as my understanding?
I started a campaign on Facebook, and I have an email. So the Facebook page was deliberately intended for people who want to seek information as a one-stop shop for all things living, liver transplant, all questions. An amazing amount of resource material is available online by clicking. Supportive messages, people can follow. I also have a private, an email dedicated, so if people feel like they don't want to post a question, they can certainly ask me anything. I don't believe in anything but transparency. Secrets are a waste of time.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, I feel more at peace and serene than I've felt in years. And I look forward to seeing my children grow.
How old are your children now?
They just turned 14.
Yeah. I understand. It's certainly emotional. Are there resources available? I'm just thinking on a mental health side of things.
Absolutely.
For you as well.
The university can provide resources within. I live about an hour from Ottawa, but there's definitely support groups, peer support groups. There are resources online on the University Health Network website to connect for education purposes, to be part of groups, and talking with a person's support group. The living donor can back out at any time.
Right.
Anytime. Yeah. It's a generous gift of life.
James, I wish you all the best. Thanks for reaching out to me. I really appreciate it.
I really
and
appreciate
all the best to your kids as well.
And to peers that are not able to advocate for themselves. This is also for them.
Yeah, thank you. We'll be back with more right after this.
Like most of Canada's film and media industries, Todd's studio is mostly straight and white. But by pledging to check their privilege, Todd's studio can now help fund programs to finally create a more diverse talent pool. And Todd, you can stop hiding behind this plan. What?
Actually, I'm in the vents.
Stop hiding from our industry's lack of diversity and pledge to help POV fix it. Go to checkyourprivilege.ca.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
I still remember the games. The laughter, the footsteps through the hallway. I'll never forget the challenges.
Every day I come back from work, it's always like this. We're yelling in front of the kids.
I'll never forget the help we needed. How far we've come.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Back to tell you about a fantastic event coming up on March the 15th. It is called The Echoes of the Motherland. Here to tell us all about it is Diana Official. She's the president of the Student Association of St. Paul University and co-founder of Integration 101, and of course, the organizer of this event. Welcome. Great to have you here, Diana.
Thank you.
Tell me the idea behind this event.
So the idea of this event was pretty much for me to create a platform where I get to gather emerging artists together to simply kind of create a showcase where we get to present the roots of the African Canadian heritage. Yes.
And you have one incredible artist that I think is going to make a lot of people think. And I love artists like this. And I'm referring to Sharifa, who's going to be there. And she's got her art gallery called The Hues of Contamination. Tell me about this and the message that she's sending.
Sharifa is a wonderful individual. Honestly, she knows no bound. The reason why is because The Hues of Contamination was pretty much curated by her specifically. So The Hues of Contamination in hindsight is pretty much an installation that's stressing about current social issues happening from an international lens. And when I talk about social issues, I'm more so talking about the fashion industry. And when I say fashion industry and social issues, I'm talking about environmental degradation, I'm talking about water contamination, human rights, as well as, what's the last part? Yes, as well as the fast fashion industry. Yes.
Right, yeah, and because I guess a lot of people don't realize that fast fashion industry that you're talking about, the impact that it has, and you mentioned those things. You're talking about, I guess the big box stores and these designers that off the rack kind of clothing. Is that right?
Most definitely. I'm talking about the big corporation who are pretty much, how can I say it? Who are
having a negative impact in a number of different ways, right?
Thank you. In other words, yes, having a negative impact on our environment, from an environmental perspective. And when I say from an environmental perspective, again, it's from an international lens, so across the world. So I would say in Haiti, and obviously in the continent of Africa, in Central America, so on, so forth. So we're really going to go into the nitty-gritty to really talk about how it affects the African diaspora, but from a different perspective.
Right.
Yes.
And part of this event, as well as you have the traditional attire celebration. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, of course. I'm really excited for the traditional attire. The reason why is because the premise of Black Out Loud, which is this year is pretty much the second edition, known as The Echoes of the Motherland, is to pretty much curate a safe space for members of the African diaspora to simply wear their cultural attires, and not only necessarily wear their cultural attires, but explain as well their provenance. So in terms of provenance, it's really the story from generation to generation that has been told, and for us to have a bigger understanding of distinct cultures within the African diaspora.
Right.
That you may actually come from the African continent, or you may be a Black individual who comes from the Caribbean, or you may be an African individual who is also known as Afro-Latina, who comes from Brazil. We really want to create kind of an event where we get to showcase the plurality of Black Canadian identity.
Yeah, and so part of that, we mentioned attire, part of that is art, right?
Yes.
We talked about that. Another part of that is food. Right, and then the cuisine and the African cuisine. For those that aren't familiar, how would you describe African cuisine first of all?
How would I describe African cuisine? Honestly, African cuisine is how we pass down knowledge from one generation to another generation. For example, the great example would actually be, I'm Haitian.
Okay.
So for my perspective, the perfect example would be soup jumu, the representation of soup jumu. Not only do you get to actually taste the food, but you get to also engage with the person who prepared the food, and actually for you to obtain a further understanding of the roots of it.
Right.
So with that being said, as mentioned, the example that was provided is soup jumu. For the Haitian community, soup jumu is pretty much a soup that represents independence and obtained in 1804 from colonial rulers. Right. So with that being said, this will be a perfect example of one of the meals that will be provided during that time, which will be catered by Sweet and Crest.
Nice, nice. And you've got a musical showcase as well, right?
Absolutely. Honestly, every time.
Look at the excitement in you. I love it.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited for just the space. Not for the space, but I'm really quite excited for the talents that are getting to be erupted from this space.
Nice.
So with that being said, when I see talents, the opener is known as Eric Sarah. He is known as a griot, and a griot within the African diaspora community is known as, specifically from the West African community, is known as a storyteller. And he'll be the person who will be opening the evening.
Nice.
And after that, we're going to have the great saxophonist known as Jacob, who will be playing Afrobeats.
I'm just running out of time here. No, it's okay. Tell people at home, how do they get their tickets? Where do they go to get tickets?
Okay, so where do you get your tickets? Please take a look at Out Loud Noir à Tue-Tête Facebook page, and you'll find the Facebook event. That's where you can get your tickets.
Okay.
You can
Fantastic. It already came up on screen too. Don't you worry.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade. I hope you join us for an hour to give right here on Rogers TV. We're going to talk about everything that is going to inspire you about this beautiful city.
On Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. I'm still laughing at Diana. Thank you so much, Diana, for joining us on the show. I think that's the first time I had a guest scream as she was running out of time here on the show. So let me remind you about her amazing event. It is called Echoes of the Motherland. It's coming up on March the 15th. That's at the Atelier at 95 Clegg Street from 6 to 10 p.m. And you can visit the Facebook page Out Loud Créativité Tue-Tête. So if you look that up on Facebook, you can find out all the information. Again, Out Loud Creative is the spot to go there. Big congratulations to Stacey Laviolette with the second book launch that she launched, I guess, she mentioned about 2 months ago. It's just been a great success story, and we'll keep our fingers crossed here in Ottawa that she makes it to Dragon's Den on air. She had that meeting with one of the producers that went so well, so congratulations to you on that. And don't forget, if you're traveling, March break's coming up. A lot of families are going to be traveling. You're going to get frustrated probably maybe from a couple of things that could happen to you. For those that are traveling by air, visit caa.ca/air passenger help guide. They'll walk you through any of those issues that may crop up. Thanks for watching this edition, and have a great weekend, everybody.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Hey everybody, my name is Karen. I'm here with my best friends Shane and Monique. Join us on Rogers TV for Fitness Faction. Every week we're going to take you through a full body workout. We've got strength training, we've got cardio, we've got HIIT. Ladies, let's get back into it.
I think we've got 10 more skaters. Let's go.
The signature event of Black History Month, the RBC Black Diamond Ball, is on